Hey, what's up, my friends? JB Webb back again. Yes, more underground artists of Orlando, more things you may not know about the great city of Orlando. A lot of talented people reside here and work here and live here. In this episode, we get to chat with a gentleman named Chris Tobar Rodriguez, and you may surely know his art. He has our iconic images. He just so happens to put on t-shirts that you'll see on people all around Central Florida and beyond. He's a graphic artist, he's a literal artist, and he's an entrepreneur. So he also does a little bit, kind of started out with a magazine and a background, so there's some journalism there as well. And we're happy to spend some time and chat with Tobar. Chris, how you doing? Welcome to the call.
Awesome. I'm really good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for taking some time and chatting with us. You're a really talented guy. You've been plugging away for 5-6 years now, really kind of making your mark on Orlando. So what I'm interested in is, where does your art origin come from? How'd you first start getting involved in art?
Art for me started as a little child.
Okay.
Just copying comic books and reading comic books and watching cartoons and stuff. So
yeah,
this is really cool.
Do you
new.
Do you remember the old Voltron?
Voltron?
Yeah.
You know what? I do remember Voltron, but Voltron wasn't like my show that I was watching as a kid. Like, I was watching Looney Tunes and
like
a
classics.
lot of those cartoons.
Yeah.
Captivated me a little bit more. I guess I'm born in the 80s, but I'm 86 baby.
Okay.
So Voltron and Thundercats were captivating, and Transformers were captivating, and G.I. Joe was captivating to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, for me, I didn't really get into them. I liked them; they're there, but I started to drift off into these other worlds and Batman and
yeah.
and stuff.
So that's kind of the origin of where you kind of were fascinated by art. You realized when did you started drawing back then and doing stuff like that, and then where did it kind of go? Where'd you kind of take off and really pick up some steam, I guess?
Actually, when I was in middle school, drawing, just playing around and goofing around and learning just from friends and watching cartoons. That I did a mural for my school when I was in 7th grade, 8th grade, and it got actually published on the yearbook.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And from there, I went to high school and I kind of doodled a little bit more, and I think it really picked up for me as in after all that time of high school and college.
Okay.
It was my first year into college. I went to Full Sail.
Okay, cool.
In Florida, in Winter Park. So I came all the way from Chicago, and I came all the way here.
Damn.
And I just didn't like design. I mean, I didn't like music, so I went to school for design.
Okay.
I liked art, and I like computers, so it just kind of came together.
Right.
And it really just opened my mind up to so many more things, so that I never even knew to exist.
Okay, so that was maybe back 10 years ago or something, right?
Exactly 10 years ago, because I moved 10 years ago.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so 2004, and then you get out of school 2008. Now, I know, because I've been in Orlando for a while, and I've seen your In Progress magazine. I think that's 4 or 5 years old. So are you still doing that side of it? Are you still doing work with In Progress? A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, I had to put. Well, here's the thing. In Progress is my favorite project I ever even started myself, and it was really, really fun. A lot of I put a lot of energy into it. I actually kind of put it on pause about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I kind of got a little bit burnt out. But I mean, a little bit about the magazine. It was more about focusing on the art scene in that moment. I think it was right when all of us, all the artists and everybody was starting to really push a lot about the arts of the local art scene, and I kind of was right there in the middle of right in the beginning of it, and I started capturing that and putting it together. Yeah. And after a while, I kind of got a little bit burnt out. I was learning a lot of things. I mean, I'm not I know earlier you said I'm a journalist, but I was actually not a journalist. I was actually more the designer, like putting everything together, layout, finding artists, going to people's events.
Yeah, you like maybe
so
the editorial side of it a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which I like, love and enjoy. Like I can probably do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It just got burnt out from like trying to do too many things to run this company, this machine that I created that had no idea was going to get as far as it was going to go.
Yeah.
And to me, it's still awesome that people still ask about the magazine.
Yeah.
Or remember it, because it's 3 years old. I have not put a post out. I haven't done nothing. I miss it every single day of my life.
Yeah.
I say to myself, I'm like, man, I want to do this, but like, I need the right team to help me. And I want to make sure I can pay my team, because I don't think anyone should be working for free.
Right.
I know interns, should help out. That's kind of to help build. But I want to at least have a solid team that I can always kind of rely on. That I'm like, hey, let's get this done. And then bring other new people in and teach them new stuff. Because I've learned a lot of stuff along the way that now I'm like, hey, don't do this. You can do this.
Right.
And it'll help them gear their career a little bit better.
Yeah, the way things are today, it's easy with just an iPad or a smartphone to go out there and capture a bunch of content and then write a post and upload it and do things like that. So I think what was cool is, especially back then years ago, it was cool to see independent people doing that. And I think you kind of started right out in the same time, maybe a year before me, or right around there, 2009, 2010. Talking about and covering the art in Orlando, because the Orlando Weekly is great, but it is not always going to hit all of the little nooks and crannies necessarily all the time. Though I will say they're doing a good job doing things lately. But so then that kind of goes a little bit to the side, and then when you start getting into doing T-shirts, and you've got this cool line of your style of Tobar's Ninja Turtle kind of looking shirts. So I wonder about anything you could tell us about the copyright. So maybe go into when In Progress kind of slowed down, and then you got into the Big Frog custom T-shirts and doing your own designs and things like that.
Well, right after the magazine, after I started to find, like, I had a pause and still really coming to myself, like, hey, like, you can't bring yourself out, because then you never want to do this again. So taking that break, finding that stage I want to take a break, I found myself, I started working at Full Sail.
Oh, cool.
I was teaching at Full Sail, page layout, graphic design, color theory. I was a lab instructor there for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Which was right before I started working at Big Frog. Big Frog was kind of like it's kind of right now a part-time job for me. It's kind of like a break.
Right.
And in terms of like a lot of high-impact like design work and everything going on. I still have freelance work, but like in terms of like a job, that's just my part-time job that I use as like I design people's shirts, but I also have people. I also print my own shirts. I can go to that like in a second. But right after In Progress, I was working at Full Sail. I wanted to do more of my own personal art. So like doing the shows with B-Side at City Arts Factory, at the Fine Gallery, with a lot of the local galleries that were popping up, and then that closed down, unfortunately, and moved away. I was just doing more and more shows, just trying to put myself out there a lot, as much as I can, in any way possible. At the time, Direct to Garment, which is what I use currently, wasn't available to me, so I was doing screen printing. So I can only make a couple shirts at a time. As many people know, screen printing is not very cheap. You have to do a large order, which it makes sense why you have to do it versus then just making one shirt at a time and hoping someone buys it so you can make your money back.
Right.
Go reinvest in the shirt and make more. So I just started putting my art on shirts, started doing different illustrations, trying to figure out different techniques of how to make my artwork that was on canvas or on wood or whatever I was working on at the time on a computer, from a lot of colors to maybe like 2 colors, but to still convey the image and the concept. And so like I have this really dope message that I'm trying to get across with my art. And so I kind of kept building and kind of kept testing. A lot of my early designs were very simple, 1 color, 2 color. And then as I progressed, I actually kind of changed my style a little bit. Went from like more of a stencil look to redefining it and doing more of the illustration work. So taking my own photos and illustrating and then coloring and then printing out and actually going to like I worked with Enemy Inc. Recently, which has been like one of my favorite screen printing companies actually ever. That I've always wanted to work with personally, and I got the chance to actually print some shirts with them. There were like 6 colors, tags, super nice cotton, next level. Like it was like a beautiful shirt. And the shirt sold out literally in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah, and I mean,
it was like
you've done some of Swamburger's artwork on shirts. I think that's you, right?
Yeah. With Swamburger, I did like several designs. Like back
awesome.
when we had Coach Mart. When he had Coach Mart, we used to sit down in the shop, and I would bring this huge laptop, and I would just be like making illustrations for him. And that was my first chance of actually getting my artwork on shirt. That wasn't my personal art, but it was like artwork that I worked on a T-shirt. Now everyone's wearing it. Everyone's seeing it. And everyone's like, yo, like I remember having that shirt, and like they're thinking, and it's Swam's artwork, but like I'm helping putting it together. Yeah. Put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, and you have a lot of great. And I'm scrolling through images of your work, over the past 4 or 5 years, and it's great, man. You just really put together classic imagery, and I'll see people out with your shirt on. What? Hey, that's awesome, and it starts a whole conversation. But you were saying a little bit about the Enemy Ink shirt, and that was kind of like something you did recently, and that's kind of full blown 6 colors and cotton and. What was that a design of? What's that a design
of? That was actually the native design, which is the design where it's a black shirt with the girl in a gas mask with feathers. I mean the fur wolf hat, and then she's got the paint rollers crossing over. So it was just this really iconic illustration I created. I went from doing gas masks a lot in my work, as you've seen a lot of. Yeah. And I was like, I want to take a break. I want to like break out of this like mask. I want to show people that there's something underneath the mask. And I was like, I'm gonna build in this world, and I called it Native, which my good friend Skip helped me discover, which was really awesome because in the time he was doing his franchise.
Right.
I did this really dope image, and I was like, this is going to be the only image in my show that's going to have a gas mask in it. Everything else is no mask.
Right.
Why is it that everyone went, that piece was like, that's my favorite piece. I love it. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, holy cow, like, all right, cool. Well, I guess that's a sign.
Yeah.
So I simplified the image down to take away a lot of the colors in terms of like the background colors, because it had like a purple gradient. She had like some different colors in her fur. I was like, let me just tone it down just like to like 5, 6 colors. That way I can like, if I wanted to do screen printing, if I wanted to do some black and white posters, it will still look consistent and look overall really, really dope.
Right.
And so I did that shirt, and literally like everyone was, I want that shirt before it even came out. Sold it out. That same image is actually at Fashion Square Mall.
Oh, really?
Hallway when you're going to go to the movie theater. It's just right downstairs. Me, myself, Jermaine Lemus, Willie, Rick, a couple other. Let's see who else is on that wall.
Oh yeah, when they did that show your art thing, the group of artists painted that whole entry. Yeah, okay, I know exactly where you're talking.
Yeah, so I had that there, and I also had that same image in Miami on one of the walls in the Wynwood district.
Yeah.
So it basically kind of became my new iconic image.
Right.
So I've been kind of like, it's a really dope image.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
My favorite design, and I got it printed.
I don't know. I mean, and I don't even know what it signifies for me. I mean, it's kind of like a future past, type of warrior survivor of a person with, they're like maybe a graffiti artist in the future or something. I don't even know. It's cool as shit.
I can tell you real quick right now, like, the image actually represents, it's a woman in a woman's role, because I've always done men characters. For some random reason, I love the woman's origins, like, because they can be almost anybody.
Right.
They can play different roles in so many different ways that guys really can't always perceive and always do without being an outcast right off the bat.
Right.
So I used her as my basically almost a case study to see and learn and study
Right.
in a really good way. In life we all wear masks, protecting ourselves from what we don't understand and what people don't understand of us. And then once we feel comfortable with that person, that's why she's wearing it. We feel like, all right, we'll take that off and we'll share the energy with you, and then we'll be our native side, which is who we are underneath. That's our raw, authentic. No one can change that. No one can break that down any further. That's just who we are. That's who we're going to be. And if you love us for that, then you're going to love us forever. If you're going to hate it, then we're going to put our mask on and keep taking it until you figure out that you're wrong. You can't change us.
Right.
No one can change anyone. You don't need to persuade people, but you can tell them how to live their life.
Yeah. No, that's that's awesome.
Her is this to represent the native. So it's like the two. I'm trying to explain the two in one kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like the native and the protect yourself. And then the rollers are actually significant of their own, like for artists. We use our paint tools to create something. So basically the paint rollers that she's using to create who she is and who she wants to be.
Yeah.
So she wants to take a little bit of that, a little bit this from the internet, a little bit from that magazine, a little bit from that wall, a little bit from that, that country that she visits, or whoever visits, then it creates who they are. So it's this powerful piece that kind of just came together that I think that's all of us. That's who we all are. But I just used it in a woman's form.
Right.
A form that I think was very beautiful.
Well, it's definitely incredible, iconic, legendary type of artwork and T-shirt that's available there. So we'll find out where people can go and connect with your art. Let's talk about the Tobars, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Tobars. I don't know. I don't want. Oh wait, I just got a lawsuit. Hold on, I just got a lawsuit. No, I'm kidding. So I understand maybe you had little challenges with that, or what's some insight into that whole line of shirts? You got 4 cool shirts. So tell us a little about that.
Okay. So the Teenage Mutant Ninja Tobars are actually, I'm a fan. I'm a diehard fan,
right.
of Ninja Turtles. Like, I don't care what they do. I'm very pissed at the movie.
Yeah.
But I'll keep that. There's my reasons, but I have good reasons why I like it too. But, alright, so what I did was, just as a fan, I was like, I want to create my version, because I was doing these guests, and I was like, let me do this version of, like, the Ninja Turtles, like, taking off their mask.
Right.
As, in their gas mask, and I just wanted to do this play. And so it's just really morally fun.
Kind of fan art, yeah.
I'm not using turtles, so technically I can't be sued. I'm only using a representation of them,
right?
Which is like changed like probably 75%. I'm only using a mask, which
right.
a ninja can use. Anyone can use that.
You'll be a damn Lone Ranger or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I could. I mean, you can definitely tell. Hey, it's a fan art of original character, but it's not the characters. I'm not drawing a turtle, and
right.
I'm calling it damn. Like, hey, give me your money. I'm like drawing my version of my character, which I own my rights to.
Yeah.
And I'm putting him in that role of that character just for fun. I have had other characters I have drawn. I've had cease and desist, like a Batman and a Wolverine. So DC and Marvel both contacted me.
Oh wow!
Said,
damn.
Take that down. But at the same time, they're watching me, so that's exciting. So I'm a big fan of both.
Yeah, and next you want
them to hire me.
Yeah, you want them to contact you like, hey, we got a job, and maybe that'll happen someday. And that's what's fucking awesome about Orlando and its culture. A guy like you kind of stays relatively under the radar, but yet are out there and a huge. Your artwork is a megaphone, and that's awesome. And that was kind of the vibe of the magazine that I remember from years ago. So Chris, or do you prefer people to call you Tobar or Chris, or what do you prefer people call you?
To me, it doesn't matter, Chris or Tobar.
Okay.
I mean, Tobar is what people are going to know. Like, for a long time, that's what I called myself. But, like, Chris or Tobar, I feel comfortable with. I mean, if you're a really good friend, you're going to call me Chris. If you're going to be a fan of my art, then just call me Tobar.
Right, okay.
If you want to be both, then call me Chris Tobar.
Just use both,
yeah. Happy.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool. So, Your artwork is incredible. Your T-shirts, your productions, everything. Again, like you've said, and I agree. You got a lot of iconic imagery going on, which is fantastic. What's if people want to get connected, if they want to go buy a T-shirt, if they want to view your art anywhere, what's the best way for people to interact with you and connect with you, Chris?
Actually, right before I go into that, I gotta tell you a really funny story.
Okay.
About the Turtles thing, about the copyright stuff that I want to say right before we transition into this.
Okay.
Actually, the guy that actually sang the first song for Ninja Turtles, way back in the day, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Oh, like the
Turtles.
80s, yeah.
The guy. All right, he actually went on Instagram and started following me and started liking all of my Turtle stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Pretty funny. All right, so I guess I did get noticed from there. But so people want to actually go and see my art or buy any of my art or even just get to learn more about me. They can visit ChrisTobarArt.com.
Okay.
And if they want to buy something, just put a slash after the .com and put shop.
Oh, cool.
They can also follow me on Instagram under Chris Tobar Art. And
Okay.
I actually recently, literally just yesterday, I just made a new account for my, it's more like surrounding my brand. It's called My Dexterous Shadow. So, it's Dexterous Shadow on Instagram. So, you're creative with your hands and you leave something behind.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So,
Well, cool. Well, you're definitely a very talented guy. I appreciate the time you were able to chat with us today. Keep working, man. I want to encourage everybody to go check out Chris Tobar Rodriguez. Go to ChrisTobarArt.com. I believe that's what you said. I'll be throwing all this up on the visual side. But what do you kind of see? Where do you see your art, in closing, where do you kind of see your art form growing into? Do you actually want to do action figures? Where do you kind of see it going into? Or is it something you're just kind of riding along going, hey, this is going to take me here, this is going to take me here?
Actually, when I first started, when I developed the Gas Mask character, this character of mine, I actually intentionally wanted to do a comic book. So
Cool.
the whole entire plan of this and the whole entire arc of this is going to turn into a comic book.
That's awesome.
About what I've learned, what I've seen, what I've experienced, and how humans and just people interact with one another in kind of different societies, but not go so political, but more emotional.
Right.
I want people to connect with it. And then I would definitely love to make toys, action figures. I've been collecting action figures all my life. I'll collect them till I'm 112.
Yeah, I got stuff in the box.
And,
I'm not opening either. I understand.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
a lot. And then after that, I'm actually starting to do the Comic Cons right now.
Oh wow!
We're traveling to Chicago on Tuesday for WizardCon. So this will be the first time I actually get to show my art.
Oh, that's awesome.
My fan art
Yeah.
I've done for myself and my own personal art to a crowd of an audience that's actually
Right.
That's what their soul and purpose is going for. It's I want to see who took Spider-Man and did this. I want to see who Spawn and did this. I want to see what did Batman turn into. Oh wow, connect with them on another level. Not just make fan art, but make really introduce them to my stories and my world and see what happens. I mean, so far it's been I've had a good run. I'm gonna love Orlando for the rest of my life. I'm from Chicago, but coming here, Orlando is definitely my home. It helped me grow up. It opened my eyes. I've learned so much. I have the greatest friends in the world here, and I've been able to travel from here to different cities and different states to paint, to share art, to show art, and to meet new artists. And it's opening so many doors that I just don't want to stop. Outside of that, I want to do a book, a behind the scenes book of my process. I want to do videos. I want to do short films.
Yeah.
A lot of these things are actually in the works. It's just once they're I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah, that's good.
Some of the things I do are just for fun. And I kind of just put it out there to kind of keep testing myself and learning. But then there's other things that I'm doing that are actually I'm actually taking my time. I'll take however much time I need to actually put it out. But
that's awesome.
there's a lot of things in the works.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of cool stuff coming out, so people keep your eyes on this young man who's been a significant contributor to the Orlando art scene here for the past 5, 6, 7 years. Chris, man, I really appreciate your time. We'll go encourage people to go check you out. Have fun at WizardCon up there in Chicago. Be safe. I'm sure you'll sell out of everything. And I'm JB Webb. We've been speaking with Chris Tobar Rodriguez. You can go to ChrisTobarArt.com. We're throwing everything up on the screen for you. We're going through the Orlando Underground and shining a light on those well-deserving, talented individuals here. Hang with us, baby. We'll be back, I swear.